Rat pours his heart out. He says he loved the guy. He says the guy was his best friend in the world. They were like soulmates, he said. Like twins or something. They had a whole lot in common. Rat mails a letter. He waits 2 months. The dumb coos never writes back. They carried all the emotional baggage of men who might die. Grief, terror, love, longing. But the intangibles had their own mass and specific gravity. They had tangible weight.
He hit him hard. He didn't stop. Strunk's nose made a sharp snapping sound. In any other circumstance, it might have ended there. But this was Vietnam, where guys carried guns, and Dave Jensen started to worry. He showed him what he'd done, and asked if everything was square between them. Strunk nodded and said, "Sure, things were squared." Later we heard that Strunk died somewhere over Chule, which seemed to relieve Dave Jensen of an enormous weight.
If it had been possible, which it wasn't, he would have explained how his friend Kiowa slipped away that night beneath the dark swampy field. He was folded in with the war. He was part of the waste. He wished he could have explained some of this, how he had been braver than he ever thought possible, but how he had not been so brave as he wanted to be. The truth, Norman Bowker would have said, is to let the guy go.
The older monk carried in a cane chair for the use of Lieutenant Jimmy Cross, placing it near the altar area, bowing and gesturing for him to sit down. Though they were kind to all of us, the monks took a special liking for Henry Dobbins. "Soldier Jesus," they said. "Good soldier Jesus." "You're right," he said. "All you can do is be nice. Treat them decent, you know."
They carried shameful memories. They carried the common secret of cowardice barely restrained, the instinct to run or freeze or hide, and in many respects this was the heaviest burden of all, for it could never be put down. They carried their reputations. He pictured Martha's smooth young face, thinking he loved her more than anything, more than his men. And then, boom, down, nothing else. Now Ted Lavender was dead because he loved her so much he couldn't stop thinking about her. Boom, down, he said, like cement. He felt shame. He hated himself. He had loved Martha more than his men, and as a consequence, Lavender was now dead, and this was something he would have to carry like a stone in his stomach for the rest of the war.
In a way, it seemed he was a part of the morning fog, or my own imagination. Even now, I haven't finished sorting it out. Sometimes I forgive myself, other times I don't.
A while later, when we moved out of the hamlet, she was still dancing. Probably some weird ritual, Azar said. But Henry Dobbins looked back and said, "No, the girl just liked to dance."
In many cases, a true war story cannot be believed. Often the crazy stuff is true, and the moral stuff isn't, because the normal stuff is necessary to make you believe the truly incredible craziness. Often in a true war story, there is not even a point, really. There's nothing much to say about a true war story, except maybe, oh! And in the end, of course, a true war story is never about war.
She was dangerous. She was ready for the kill.
It actually looks real.
Sure, you can.
No, cry.
As soon as you get the water on your face.
Oh.
Wait, hang on.
She is. Looks like she peed.
Like I've the amount of time that you'll have to climb this.
No, but see, no.
You filming?
Yeah.
Ah, you know,
Action. Não é sexy dance, ela tem 14 anos.
I'm sorry. Ela disse para pôr os géneros aqui, fazer assim. Não faço então.
Go. Let's a drama.
Go.